everyone, welcome back to my channel. Here is my MAC palette. So my viewer asked if I can show her my MAC palette, and she said she wanted it to be a neutral. I obviously love neutrals. Can you tell? These eyeshadows are MAC, yeah. So anyways, here it is. Beautiful and gorgeous. I absolutely love these eyeshadows. They're amazing, good quality, easy to blend with, easy to work with, easy to layer. This is something that is more like an investment, I would say, and something that is good quality and it's gonna last you for many years. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through the rundown of the palettes. Okay, so first of all, the MAC palette wasn't like this. Obviously, this is old school. This is how it used to come. It was black, came with the insert, magnetized. You can tell it wasn't clear. So recently they came out with this palette. The palette, it says MAC in the middle right there. And it's clear. It is plastic. In the back it's black, but it's magnetized because obviously you need to put the insert, and with your insert it's gonna hold your eyeshadows, all your individual eyeshadows. I'm gonna go through how much it costs, each individual thing, so that way you know how much it is. Okay, and this is for both in-store and online. It's the same price. So the Pro Palette Large Single, that's the name. Okay, I'm looking down because I want to make sure I give you the right information. Only the casing, it's not the insert. The casing, this is $8, whereas the Pro Palette Eyeshadow, the insert, which is this, the one that's gonna hold the eyeshadows, that is $2. Okay, and then in each individual eyeshadow that you see right here, which this case holds 15 eyeshadows, is $10 each. So 10 times 15 is $150, plus 8 plus 2, $160 in total, both in store and online. Personally, for me, the way I love to use MAC eyeshadows is by their eyeshadow base. You know, this one is the Painterly Paint Pot from MAC. What's great about the Painterly Paint Pot is that it's going to help adhere into your eyelids. It's like a sticky base, and then it's going to make sure it's long lasting, as well as is going to give you that eyeshadow to pop more, to give it a more of a pop, and to make sure that it shows the true color that it should be showing on your eyelids. Okay. So I want to give that tip. So MAC online and in store, they have a palette that is already pre-made, one for cool tones and one that is for warm tones. But the problem with that palette is that although yeah, it's cheaper, it's $85, I feel that you're not getting your money's worth, because once you hit pan, it's not like this one. Because with those ones, with those two eyeshadow palettes, it's not like, let's say for instance I hit pan on this one. I'm just giving you an example. This is Brulee right here. If let's say for instance I'm almost done with Brulee, right? Let's say I finished Brulee, or I want to change my eyeshadows around, I can do it with this palette. You see what I'm saying? That I can remove this eyeshadow, and let's say for instance I put a new eyeshadow in there. I can do it with this one because this is a Pro refillable palette, whereas with the other ones are pre-made and you can't do that. So I feel that that's a disadvantage if you buy that one, whereas this one, I guess you have more freedom with this palette. Okay, so I love it for that reason. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm gonna go through every eyeshadow, and I'm gonna give you a swatch at the end of the video for you guys. But for right now, I'm going to give you the names of each eyeshadow and also tell you the finish, as well as how I love to use the eyeshadow. The first eyeshadow right here that I have is called Brulee, and it's described as a soft cream beige, and it's a satin. So that one, personally for me, I love to use it because it looks very natural on the eyelids, and I love to use it after Painterly to set my Painterly Paint Pot. Not only to set the Painterly Paint Pot, but also it can be like a blank canvas, so that way I can layer my other eyeshadows like on the crease if I wanted to. So that one I love and I absolutely recommend. So yeah, so that's Brulee. Here is Brulee, how it looks on my finger. The next eyeshadow is called Blonde Type, and Blonde Type, it's a creamy beige, and it's It's a matte, and if you see right here the difference between Blanc type and Brulee, you see how Brulee is much more natural, whereas Blanc type, I feel that with this one, to be careful how you use it, you know. Okay, so for Blanc type, I love to use that one for setting my Painterly paint pot, as well as putting it all over eyelid. I can use that one as a highlight and to clean my edges as well, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so there you go. And I also love to mix these two, Blanc type with Brulee. It's really pretty. Next eyeshadow is called Rice Paper, and it is described as a peachy gold with shimmer, and it's a frost, and it's this one in the middle right there. So for me, I love to use rice paper all over the eyelid because it gives a pretty, very natural iridescent look to the eyes. So now I'm just going to move on towards the second row right here. And Floof is a very beautiful eyeshadow. Like, that's awesome. And that's no base, no eyeshadow base with it. It's absolutely beautiful. So this eyeshadow is a frosted off-white. That's how it's described in their website, and it really is frosted, and it's really, really pretty. And I love to use like this eyeshadow. I love it for all over the eyelid. You can use this eyeshadow too if you want to put it on in your tear ducts to brighten up your eyes. I think that would look pretty. So then the next eyeshadow is called Naked Lunch, which is this one right here, and it is described as a minimal pink with shimmer, and it's a frost. Naked Lunch is not as pigmented or frosty as Floof, so please don't don't confuse both of them. One of them is very natural looking on the eyes, the other one is not. The Floof, you have to work with it, you know, you have to blend with it. So this is how it is on the pinky. This is how it looks. It's very iridescent, as you can tell, like barely. It looks extremely natural on the eyelids. And the next eyeshadow is Soft Brown, which is this one right here. And just like the name says, you know, it's a soft brown. Yeah, it's great for the crease. I highly recommend this one, which is this one right here. That's your finger swatch. So Soft Brown, it is described as a soft golden peachy brown, and it's a matte. It does feel like a matte, but it's very soft matte. And I would say with that eyeshadow, you can put it on your crease. It's an eyeshadow that you can blend with other eyeshadows on your crease if you wanted to, and it's easy to work with. Yeah, so I absolutely love that eyeshadow, and I highly, highly recommend it. Texture, it is described as a peachy brown with shimmer, and the finish of it is a velvet. There is a difference between texture and soft brown right there. And again, it's another eyeshadow that you can use on your crease, and it looks very natural on the eyes. Okay, so then I'm just gonna move on towards the next eyeshadow. Okay, so the next eyeshadow that I have right here is called Espresso, and it is described as a muted golden brown. The finish of it, it's a matte. You know what? This eyeshadow looks just like the name. When you think of espresso, like the coffee, you think of this. Just, yeah, it's pretty. I highly recommend that one for if you want to deepen up the crease. Maybe you want to put it in your lower lash line. You can do it with that one. That's a beautiful eyeshadow that you should have. I have seen girls too, and I used to do this. I would use espresso for my eyebrows. This was a long time ago, not right now. But it's a pretty one, you know, really pretty eyeshadow, and it will darken up that crease. So if you want that one, you don't want something soft, but you want something darker, you know, because you have those days where you want to be natural, or sometimes you want to be a little bit more dramatic in your eyeshadow. You can do it with the espresso. And Swiss Chocolate, it is described as a muted reddish brown, and it's a matte. Right there is this one. Swiss Chocolate looks pretty on the crease. I feel that it would also, you can get away with using it in your lower lash line, and if you really wanted to, you can use it on your lid too, you know, to give that 90s look that everybody's into. You can do it with that one. That's a pretty one. So then the fourth row, this one right here of my eyeshadows, this one is called Brown Script. So this one is so beautiful and so soft. This eyeshadow is described as the warm chestnut brown. To use this eyeshadow, I remember using this eyeshadow a lot on my, not only on my crease, but also on my eyelid. This was a long time ago. It was in the goodbye list. Mac put it in the goodbye list, but they brought it back, so I'm glad that they did. And it's part of the permanent line, so yay for brown script. I highly recommend that one. It's beautiful. The next eyeshadow that I have right here is called Woodwink. Woodwink is described as a warm antique gold, and it's a Velux pearl. That's the finish. And let me give you a good finger swatch for you guys. It's a beautiful one, which is this one. You see how it's kind of like a gold with a brown mixed into it, and it looks so beautiful. Absolutely stunning. That looks pretty. Even this one all over the eyelid with soft brown on the crease. Again, in brulee as a highlight. You're done. On the go. Finish. And it's one of the top eyeshadows that is one of the best selling ones from them. And I have done a tutorial with that one. Yeah, I remember. So anyways, that's a beautiful eyeshadow, I think. It looks really pretty on every skin tone. So the next eyeshadow is Expensive Pink. And it is described as a pink with duochrome. And it is a Velux pearl. You have to have this eyeshadow. It's one of my favorite ones. It's this one right here. Can you tell? Ooh, that one. It's stunning. You see that? Do you see it? Beautiful all over the eyelid. Highly recommend this eyeshadow. I love pink, but this one, whew, is beautiful. Especially in the summertime, you know. It's really pretty. So that's Expensive Pink. Last roll that I have right here of my MAC palette is called Cranberry, and it is described as a red plum with pink shimmer, and it's a frost like the name says, cranberry. You think of cranberries. This one right here, beautiful. Looks absolutely stunning on every skin tone. I love it for all over the eyelid. I think that's gonna look pretty, especially for the fall. I highly recommend that one. So then the next eyeshadow is called Satin Taupe. And let me give you a nice finger swatch for you guys. And by the way, this was one of my first eyeshadows that I bought from MAC. The first 3 eyeshadows that I bought from MAC was Satin Taupe, Carbon, and Brulee. That's a beautiful taupe right there. Beautiful eyeshadow. I love that eyeshadow. Even if it's not fall, I still wear that eyeshadow. Doesn't matter, because I love taupes. And if you're a lady who loves taupes, or you never tried a taupe eyeshadow, like none whatsoever, I think that one is beautiful. You have to have that eyeshadow for sure. Satin Taupe. Okay. And that one is a taupe with silver shimmer, and it's a frost. The last one that I have is called Carbon, and it is described as an intense black and is a matte. Now with this eyeshadow, you're gonna see it in the swatch. It doesn't pick that much up, okay? I feel, although the name says intense, swatching doesn't do it justice, okay? It's a matte black, but you see how it's not that, you're like, oh, it's not that pigmented, it's not swatching the way it should swatch. True, but the thing is that once you use like a blending brush on the crease, like a 224 on the crease, you want to do like a 50s look, that one is the best eyeshadow to blend your crease. I highly recommend Carbon. Love it. So there you go. That was my completed MAC palette. It's very neutral. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Out of all the palettes that I have, I can say that I always go back to these eyeshadows. If you have seen my favorites, you have seen that I always show the little quad and the eyeshadows of the month that I do, and using my eyeshadows from MAC, of course. But I feel when you first get your first MAC palette, there's nothing to describe it as. Kind of like graduating from from wearing makeup that is meant for younger girls to being an adult. I think that's how I felt when I first got my MAC palette, and I'm so happy that I have it. I absolutely love these eyeshadows. Grateful that my subscriber asked if she can see my MAC palette, and hopefully I helped her. I hope you guys too. If you guys have any further questions about my MAC palette, let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you don't have a MAC palette, and are you gonna buy one? Are you gonna build your own MAC palette? I think it's worth it. It's worth every penny. And remember, it's an investment, something that you build upon. How do I place my order for the MAC palette? It's very easy. I'll have the link down below in the description box, so make sure you check out that description box. It's gonna send you directly to the Pro palette from MAC. If you like this video of what's in my MAC neutral palette, click that thumbs up. Don't forget to share, subscribe, comment down below. If you're thinking about getting a MAC palette, are you gonna get a MAC palette? I love it, and I know for sure you're gonna love it too. I highly recommend it, and it's so worth the money, you know. It's worth every single penny. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video, and love you guys. Bye.